Within the stats sheet, you have a graphical view of everything that has happened within the cash flow. First of all the income and cost items, therefore house, needs, etc., have been conveniently reported here. In this way, it is possible to see, without having to scroll the entire sheet up and down, or close the various windows, that you have spent $15,000 on the house category to date. And that, annually, you plan to spend that. I explain it very well in the video about cash flow. Why is it convenient? Because, in this statistics sheet, it is possible to assign a percentage of what you earn to each item. So, if we earned $100,000, we could set a percentage of 30% so that we would spend a maximum of $30,000 on the house. At most, for needs, spend 15% of $100,000, so $15,000. Obviously, the sum of the percentages must be 100%. They can be divided at will. Everyone sets their own budget. Maybe, for fun, you want to spend only 5%. And, for investments, only 25%. These percentages are calculated on the total of what is being earned to date. This is why, in this box, he shows us that 30% of the budget was supposed to be spent on the house. But, as of today, therefore as of November 26th, 33% has been reached. So, you are spending more and, for this reason, it is shown in red color. Instead, at the end of the year, 25% is estimated. How does he know? If you watch the previous videos, you will notice that it is November. But I have set that, in December, I expect to earn a $10,000 bonus. So, in the cash flow, you'll also see that there's an additional $10,000 in cash. That's why the system reports that, to date, you have earned $45,590. But, at the end of the year, you will reach $58,590. So, what happens inside the stats? The system now says you're spending 33%. But at the end of the year, with all that has been foreseen between incomes and payments, it will become 25%, and this is why the value returns written in black color. So, since you're spending $15,000, the system says that if you were to earn $58,000, you can only spend $17,000. So, theoretically, there are still $2,496 left to spend. The same is true for all the other items. Red means that the threshold has been crossed, both for this part and for this one. Here, however, the system says that I owe $354. So, by the end of the year, expenses should be reduced if you want to get back on budget. In addition, this small graph shows the trend over 12 months. Home expenses were high at the beginning of the year, but have gradually decreased. Some others maybe peaked during the year. Of course, I can easily see this in the cash flow. This is just a small summary chart. In the graph below, however, it is possible to graphically see what your annual budget is and what you are spending for each category. This graph shows how spending is divided according to one's own costs. This whole portion is intended for household expenses, this part for needs, etc. Hovering over it with the mouse, you can see the percentages. In the last graph, it is possible to see how costs vary according to incomes. Basically, costs should always be lower than revenues. In March, the third month, there was practically a peak. So, more was spent than what was earned. However, in any case, in the end all costs tend to go down. Also because, as you have seen in the example, much more is being earned at the end of the year. So, the statistics graphs change by themselves, depending on the percentages that we have set here which. As mentioned, you can change as you wish.